Hello, everyone. Good morning, welcome, vanakkam, suprabhatham. In an earlier video, I tried to provide a perspective on the furious contestation or conflict, if you like, competition, now underway between two political camps, namely NDA and India Alliance, spearheaded by Sri Narendra Modi on the one hand and Sri Rahul Gandhi on the other. And I try to say that public life and the personages who assume great visibility and offices of importance in public life can be understood in a particular light. And what is that light? Taking a cue from Carlyle, I said that they may be compared to banknotes that carry some value because they have collaterals attached to them, guaranteeing their worth, which is not visible or evident in terms of the material value of the notes that we use. So, the fact that a currency note is not fake but genuine is that there is a corresponding deposit of gold somewhere else. Without that deposit, what's called collateral, that banknotes in your hand is utterly useless. It's not even worth the paper it is printed on. This was what I shared earlier. Now, what I did not include in that video, because time would not have allowed me to do it, is the question that you would all want to ask, and therefore the question that I decided at that time merited an independent, separate treatment. How do we recognize the bad coins from the good coins? Surely this is a question of great practical importance, and there can't be a single viewer of mine who would not be interested in an answer to this question. Therefore, let us straight away proceed into this. In that video, I said that good coins and bad coins are to be found both in religion and in politics, but in that video, I didn't say a word about religion. Therefore, now let me begin this video by saying something about religion. Now, we know that every religion begins with good coins. Otherwise, they would not have had such a great beginning, gaining the trust and faith of so many people and sustained it over generations. But over a period of time, what happens is that these good coins are hijacked by bad coins. And the problem with these bad coins is that they make a lot of promises and pretensions, but there is no reality corresponding to what they appear to be. In other words, they are fake religious coins without any spiritual collateral. Now, take the case, for example, of Jesus' very vigorous criticism of the priestly class in his days. He called them hypocrites. Now, hypocrite is a religious word for the secular term that I introduced, namely religious bad coin. Who is a hypocrite? A hypocrite is like a currency note in your hand, which on the face of it has the value, shall we say, of 100 rupees or 500 rupees or 1,000, now you don't have 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, but in effect has absolutely no value. Now, it is possible that with a fake or counterfeit currency note, you are able to do some business. Take the case of a person who has unwittingly, unknown to him, a fake 100 rupee note. Now, he goes to the grocers and buys some stuff. He gives that 100 rupee note, and the grocer does not have any technology to discern whether it is a fake note or a genuine note. He accepts it. And you come away with the stuff that you have bought. Now, the grocer in turn uses the fake 100 rupee note you have given him and goes to the, shall we say, the petrol station. And he buys some gas and he pays for it. And suppose he had to pay 1,000 rupees, he includes his 100 rupee notes, takes another 900 rupee notes and pays it to the petrol station. And the next day, the owner of the petrol station takes whatever collections he has had to the bank to deposit there. The bank people are experts in recognizing fake notes from genuine notes, so they immediately detect that there is a fake 100 rupee note. So this particular note had all the value of a genuine 100 rupee note till the bank recognized that it was a fake note, at which point it ceases to have any value whatsoever. Now, if you want to understand a religious hypocrite, it can be done this way, that with religious hypocrisy, a lot of religious business can be done. Like in the case of this 100 rupee note, you can buy groceries, you can buy petrol, etc. But a time will come when it will be detected that it's not a genuine note but a counterfeit. So religious hypocrites may succeed in hiding the hypocrisy for a long time, depending on mainly the lack of discernment on the part of the people. And this is the reason why, in the spiritual context, people are particularly encouraged to be vigilant and to develop their capacity for discernment. Now, discernment is that particular ability which enables us, those who develop that faculty, to look beyond the appearance, the facade, and to see the reality. Now, suppose the first time this fake 100 rupee note was used by a person to pay for the grocers, whatever he bought from the grocer's shop, and he recognized it, and there the transaction will end. But unfortunately, a vast majority of people in the religious context do not have the ability to recognize the fake currency from the genuine currency, and therefore these fake currencies do a lot of business. In fact, more business is these days transacted in the religious market with fake currencies than with genuine currencies. And a great manifestation, one of the most alarming manifestations of this, is the mushrooming of godmen and godwomen in our times. Just the other day, a gruesome event happened in Hathras of UP, where a godman, thriving on the crass superstition of the people, created or was the occasion for a huge stampede happening in which 128 people died and hundreds were seriously injured. But unfortunately, because the people lack the spiritual discernment and the sensitivity, even the common sense to recognize that these are fakes, he will disappear for some time and then he'll reappear with the same business, and thousands will flock to him. There are many others like him, and therefore there is a need to recognize, there's a need to develop the ability to distinguish fake currency from genuine currency, hypocrites from genuine people, spiritually sincere people. And that is something that we need to develop for our own safety, for our own welfare. And therefore, what I'm going to say from now onwards will be of material interest to you. So let's ask the question, how do I know that this religious person, this individual who passes for a god, after all, this Bole Baba, Shakahari, Narayan Shakahari Bole Baba is his full name. Narayan Shakahari Bole Baba. He was a policeman, police constable. He was clever enough to realize that he could make millions overnight, crores and crores of rupees overnight, if he chucked his lowly paid police job and put on the garb of a godman. And he actually claims to be God. And the superstition is that if people can have even the mud that he stands on, the dust that flies in the wake of his car moving, then they will be healed of diseases and they will be blessed in so many ways. And in this country, unfortunately, for all the progress that we have developed, people live in utter superstition, and they are therefore vulnerable to these religious quacks and charlatans who are experts in taking advantage of their credulity and their foolishness. So the question is, how do we recognize the genuine from the counterfeit? Now, the interesting thing is that this question was answered a long time ago I'm familiar with the Bible, therefore let me confine myself to the Bible, particularly the New Testament. Jesus addressed this question in a very, very clear and emphatic manner. He said, look, all the counterfeit value is created only in terms of appearance. Please understand the logic that Jesus uses. Hypocrisy is religion in appearance only, or godliness in appearance only. A hypocrite acts the role of a pious person or a godly person. A hypocrite is an expert in acting that he is a mediator between God and human beings. He is an expert in making people believe the canard that he has a special accreditation from God, and therefore he is the accredited mediator between God and human beings. Now, this is a claim that he flaunts in public, and people are exposed to it. Now, the question is, how can a human being know for certain whether it is fake or whether it is genuine? Jesus has a very simple, down-to-earth answer. He said, you shall know a tree by its fruits. Now, I'm going to interpret that very simple statement in response to or with reference to the particular issue that we are handling. Now, the public appearances that a religious man creates is like a foliage of the tree. Now, no matter how luxuriant and rich or abundant the foliage, the tree is not relevant to you in terms of your hunger if it doesn't produce fruit. So, fruit is what the tree produces. Foliage is what the tree appears to be. Jesus is saying that you should insist that there is a correspondence between the foliage and the fruit, the appearance and the result. Now, applied to the religious context, many people will come pretending to be direct appointees of God or people who are deputies of God upon this earth, and they will say all sorts of things. The words that these people say, whether it is in religion or in politics, the words uttered by people are like the foliage of the tree. They will impress you, no doubt. They will activate something, some hope and expectation, some enthusiasm, some euphoria in you, and you get carried away. But don't get carried away. Wait. Wait till the season has produced the fruit. Do not get carried away by what men in religion and politics say. They say all kinds of things. Unfortunately, God has given us this wonderful gift called the ability to speak, and words are so powerful. We can create a world of illusions and delusions with the power of words. Some people have that power more than others, and correspondingly, some people are more gullible than others. So, if a gullible group of people are exposed to a person who is gifted with this gift of the gab, which is not bridled by conscience, unconscionable use of this power of speech, then the effect can be devastating, satanic, diabolic, deadly. Then only hypocrisy, falsehood, deception, manipulation of the people, betrayal on a large scale will be the outcome. And even after people are repeatedly betrayed and belied in their hopes and expectations, they will still latch on to it, because latch on to the person who has taken them on for a ride, because they don't have the ability to understand the reality that is impinging on their own life. And that's a pathetic reality. In one sense, this is because of the collapse of education. The kind of education we have practiced so far does not equip human beings, citizens, to think factually, rationally, in an objective manner, based on the realities that affect them in their day-to-day life. Therefore, even the most educated are vulnerable to the manipulations and the treacheries and the trickeries of these charlatans and these deceivers, these large-scale deceivers of people who thrive in the realm of religion and politics. So Jesus said, beware of false prophets, that's hypocrites, Beware of false prophets, for they come to you in sheep's clothing. Appearance wise, they look like sheep. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. The outcome will be terrible for you. So they promise all kinds of things. They utter a lot of sweet words. Honey would be dripping from each word they utter. They make you feel very nice, good, excited, euphoric, very hopeful. You feel like holding on to this person, assuming that he is your Messiah, the Messiah of your country, and the keeper of your hopes, your aspirations, your wealth, your welfare, your liberty, your limb. But time will tell. Between what he appears to be, between what he claims to be, between the words that he utters on the one hand, and the actual outcome of his governance and what he actually does, the priorities by which he exercises his office, there will be a terrible contradiction. But he also has the ability, because he is armed and equipped with various strategies and resources, particularly the resource of propaganda and the media, as well as his own gift of the gab, he will be able to prevent you from realizing the harm that's happening to you. And he can still keep you fed on this hope that if not today, next year, if not next year, the year after, or 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, your aspirations will be fulfilled and all your problems will be solved. The only thing you have to do is to hold on to this gentleman, this Messiah, who is your Savior, who has all the answers to your problem. And therefore you are told that with so and so, sab kuch mumkin hai. There is nothing impossible. Just you hold on to this one person, he will solve all your problems. In Kerala, for example, the left parties advertised themselves in the last elections as Idadu varum ellam seriyagum. In Malayalam, it means the left parties, the left coalition will come to power, then all your problems will be solved. And ask any Keralite if their problems have been solved. They're not meant to be solved. These are very nice sounding slogans which are manufactured to suit the occasion in order to activate what's time and again proved to be false expectations. But people in a state of desperation would hold on to even a little piece of straw, and these slogans and catchy phrases are the straws held out to a drowning people. And now, for example, sabka saath, sabka vikas, so on and so forth. Very nice words. In fact, when you hear them, your soul dances with delight. But that's like the foliage of the tree. Don't expect fruits to grow on them. Now, I'm not saying that fruits will never grow, but wait till the season has come. And whether or not this tree yields the fruits that you're expecting, let that be the basis, not the sweetness of the words that you are bombarded with day by day. Let the fruits that are there or that are not there be the basis on which you judge a person or a party. The same thing goes for religion. Why is it that godmen thrive in India, in spite of the fact that innumerable instances of godmen as dangerous fakes, counterfeit religious men have come to light? Many of them are still languishing in jail, in spite of the fact that, irrespective of religious differences, godmen thrive in all religions for the simple reason that, like their political counterparts, they too have perfected the art of using words in a particular manner to create delusional, illusory hopes and expectations, and thereby connect millions of people to them. And because they don't have the discernment to see through the pretensions and the trickeries, the big swindle, they walk into the trap. They give all the money that they have, and having made that investment, they find it difficult to back off, and thereby they develop a vested interest in protecting the godman who is taking them for a ride. So a vicious cycle develops. And thereafter, even if repeatedly very bad experiences and instances come to surface, the people in this kind of bad cycle are inclined only to suspect evidence against the godman rather than be the wiser for the facts that come to light. So, it is not difficult to distinguish bad coins from good coins, genuine currency from counterfeit currency, whether it is in religion or in politics. All you have to do is hold back for a while, even as you are exposed to these, great uh, oratorical powers, full of sweet words, honey dripping sweet words, falling from glib and oily tongues, as Shakespeare says. Instead of allowing yourself to be swept off your feet and being turned into a camp follower and a blind worshipper of this political person or that political person, which political camp is immaterial to me. Blind worship of any human being is a serious harm a person does to himself and to the country. Of that, there is absolutely no doubt. At the same time, I would like to say that we should not be skeptical or cynical about good and great men emerging from our midst. Every society needs such people, the heroes, the real heroes of the people, the real genuine currencies carrying some worth. The fact that X, Y, or Z proves counterfeit currency should not make us cynical, that no genuine hero, no genuine leader, no genuine servant of the people will ever emerge. That way we have no future and we destroy ourselves. No people can abandon hope altogether. We must hold on to our hope even as our hopes are routinely belied. But we must not repose our hope blindly against evidence. First thing you have to do is do not let anyone sweep you off your feet. He will come to you with all kinds of promises, sweet words, and he'll promise the very heaven to you on a platter. Just hold back. Watch and wait. Watch him in action. After he assumes office, how does he use the opportunities, the authority that his office invests him with? What are his policies? What are his priorities? How does he conduct himself? Is he a good specimen of humanity? Are his intentions good and honorable? Is he a man of truth? How can you trust a man who is not truthful? How can you trust a deceiver? One who has absolutely no conscience about telling any amount of lies in order to gain a small or big goal that's at hand. So, on the basis of adequate evidence, you come to a judgment. And thereafter, if you feel that this person is really good currency, genuine note, bank note, then attach your loyalty to him. But even thereafter, even after attaching your loyalty, be vigilant, because a person can get corrupted at any period in time. As Lord Acton said, all power corrupts, absolute power absolutely so. Even if a person was honest, idealistic, upright, sincere at the time of assuming office, and he or she continued to be so for first 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, the very fact that he or she is placed in this domain of power can corrupt him, and therefore, citizens, if they are really interested in ensuring their welfare, they have to remain vigilant about how this leader of the people is faring thereafter. So, continued vigilance is a price for securing good governance and safeguarding your freedom, as Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said. So, it is possible to discern or distinguish bad coins from good coins in religion and in politics. And I must say that it's equally important to discern bad coins in religion as it is in politics. And you will also see, it's very interesting, there will always be a collusion, unholy alliance between the bad coins in religion and the bad coins in politics. So, one very good way to recognize who are the bad coins is to look at these alliances that are formed, the secret understandings, the illicit partnerships forged. Rest assured that if a man in politics, if a religious man who is professionally a religious man is very desperate to curry favors with a political leader, first of all, this religious man is a bad coin, is a counterfeit coin. is a counterfeit religious coin. Secondly, the person with whom he is so very keen to create an alliance or unholy alliance is also a counterfeit political coin. So it will be a collaboration between two bad coins because they have a need to support each other. And this grand scheme of deception by which millions of people are exploited, befooled, manipulated, etc., has to be sustained through a mechanism that is adequate for the task. And that will involve multiple collaborations. The main collaborators in perpetuating this demonic, satanic scheme of things are the bad coins in religion and the bad coins in politics. So look for the alliances that are formed, and they are not very hard to come by. And if only you keep your eyes and ears open, you will immediately see what's happening, when, where, and why. So I'm going to conclude my thinking with you on this subject. It's highly important to be able to distinguish the good coins from the bad coins, the counterfeit currency from the genuine currency. Second point I made is that these bad coins are current or present, they are active, they are operating both in religion and in politics. In religion, it is called hypocrisy. In politics, it is called fooling the masses. The final thing I said is that it is quite natural for the bad coins in religion and the bad coins in politics to enter into an unholy alliance. The outcome of that alliance will be inimical to people, but highly beneficial to the elite in religion and in politics, who have a great deal to protect and who are the actual beneficiaries of this unholy alliance. So do not jump at what a politician or a man in religion pretends to be, what he says, what he claims. Assume that words, claims, postures, grandstanding, all these things could be part of a grand scheme of creating an atmosphere of credulity, gullibility among the people, which can then be taken for granted. At the same time, do not be cynical about good people coming up from time to time, because there is still a large area of goodness left in us. Therefore, good leaders, sincere people also can come up from time to time. So do not become cynical about that prospect, because if you become cynical, then you burn up your future. Nothing is left for you. I, for one, would not become cynical. Even if I am fooled 1,000 times, I will still hold on to the hope that a good human being, a sincere person, will emerge sometime along the road. At the same time, I'll become increasingly careful about who I repose my faith in, to what extent I'll go along with the words spoken by a person. The more facile a person is in creating slogans, fine words, catchy phrases, good event management, image building, so on and so forth. Now, at my age, the more suspicious I become of that person's intentions. For example, a good product like the Rolls-Royce car doesn't even have to advertise itself. Have you ever seen a Rolls-Royce advertisement? Why? That car doesn't have to advertise because it's a genuine product. You get your money's worth. All this need for image makeover, to project oneself as, the most saintly person, the most competent person, the messiah of the masses, etc. This epic attempt at image building, in my line of thought, is immediately suspect. If you're a genuine person, why don't you let people come to their conclusion through their own experience? When I eat a mango fruit, I will know that the tree that produced the fruit is a mango tree. I don't need 1,000 advertisements for it. I don't need huge awareness building programs for it. The taste of mango fruit in my mouth convinces me more than 1,000 speeches, 100,000 advertisements, that it has come from that tree, which is the mango tree. Why don't you, therefore, and I am appealing to leaders in religion and politics, why don't you, for God's sake, allow the people of India to come to their own conclusions based on their experiences? Please, for God's sake, provide the people of India with good experiences on the basis of which they can come to the conclusion that you are indeed a good currency, not bad coin. They are indeed their Messiah and not someone who is out to take them for a ride. So, let me conclude by saying that it is possible to discern the difference between the two. It is necessary, highly important to be able to do so. And the more you do so, the more a society, a country is protected from the wiles and wickedness of these unconscionable men who think that the common man is an ass who can be taken for a ride. And time and again, he will be cheated, he can be cheated, but he will never be wiser for it. And the next time you utter a sweet, sugary word, he'll line up for you and he will become a blind admirer and he'll vote for you. If that condition continues, then woe unto India. This is the reason why the old proverb says that a people get only the kind of rulers or leaders they deserve. So the sum and substance of what I'm saying in this video is, let's become the kind of people who deserve better leaders than we have seen so far. Our situation is pretty pathetic. Let's face it. We deserve better. But if we really deserve better, then we have to improve ourselves. If we are to get something better, we have to improve ourselves in one respect, and that is in respect of our ability or our skill for political, religious discernment, so that cheats and charlatans do not take us for a ride and thrive in our midst. Jai Hind, thank you, and have a great day.